Yes, sir. We are doing the work so that you lovely people do not have to. So, what we're going to do is every fight night, we are going to assess exactly why. We're going to assess exactly why a lot of these people aren't talked about. How come we can't just. Because we all have our guy that we watch, I'm sure. We all have our guy that we watch. But, like, nobody, for some reason, our guy isn't giving us what we need on fight nights. And that's my biggest thing. So if we're going to always be looking to our guy for like what we're doing and like research on these fighters, like they be missing these fight nights sometimes, you know, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So let's go ahead and try to learn about these people together, because really a lot of these are, like, let's be honest, fight nights are usually composed of like beginners and washed up fighters. That's like the dumping ground for them. It's kind of what I'm noticing. So maybe we can maybe dig up some of their old flowers. No pun to Darius, but see if we can see what we can learn about these fighters, really. So, I mean, let's go ahead and get it started then, you think? So let's start with Darius Flowers, the pun of the intro, maybe. Good. Darius Flowers versus, we're not gonna do his full name. We're gonna do Flowers versus Elder. Alright, so if we're gonna look at Elder and Flowers, so let's look up some stuff what we got here. But first of all, let me look at him. Let's go to ESPN. Oh, it's 2 R's. They're very specific. Ooh, my man's got some fights. Okay, so he's coming off a 2-fight losing streak. He fought Michael Johnson. Wild. He lost to Michael Johnson by unanimous decision, huh? Jake Matthews. Which, I mean, unanimous decision, sub, unanimous decision. So he's kind of like a fucking boring fighter. So what I'm seeing in repetition, second round submission, huh? Darius Flowers. So what I'm more curious of, every time he loses, lost by submission, lost by submission, lost by submission, lost by submission, lost by submission. So he can't wrestle. is what I'm getting here. He can't wrestle. So let me see what we got with Elder here, because he's coming off a 2-fight losing streak. He had a 4-fight win streak. See, he gets like some submissions, but he's a TKO guy. KO, TKO, KO submission. So, but he's very prone. If he's not winning the fight, he's very prone to go to decision. And if he goes to decision, he's going to lose in the long run. So he has to knock you out. So what we have to look at is what's his name? Evan Elder. Okay, so this dude was coming off a massive winning streak. TKO, submission, TKO. He's got one decision. He's got one submission, 2 decisions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 KOs. Or 4 KOs. Oh, he's got more decisions. 3 decisions. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, how old are they? He's 27. How old is Flowers? He's got to be old. 29? Oh my goodness. Flowers could take a roundabout, yeah, but what I'm gonna say is, I think this is a very good matchup for Darius Flowers. I think since this dude, Evan Elder, yes, he was coming off a massive winning streak, just fucking people up apparently. But if it didn't go to decision, it's going to end in knockout. He has 1 submission, sure. But if we're going to think about his transition to the UFC, he hasn't been looking so hot. Really, like, maybe gun shy here. Maybe a little bit too overzealous here. Played it real safe here. So now he might be coming into his own. But I'm thinking, here's what I think. I think Darius Flowers is going to lose this fight by knockout, and let me tell you why. Evan Elder, right? Massive winning streak. He just won one by unanimous decision after a TKO loss. So he's a little gun shy, but he was staying true to the fight. He beat Bueno Silva. Oh, wait, no, he did. I'm tripping. That's a chick. He beat Bernardo Valdez. And if we look at him, yes, he's dookie. But it says more about Evan Elder and his ability to stay calm and kind of play it out for the whole fight, but staying dominant. So what I want to say is that maybe he's figuring it out, and then he's going to find the shot, and he's going to actually put this dude out. Darius Flowers, he's okay with losing. He's okay with losing. He's lost plenty. Lose. I mean, this was like his longest streak right here. This 4-fight win streak. Since coming back from the Contender Series, dude hasn't won a fight. Now here's what I want to say. He got knocked. He lost by submission 2 fights in a row. So here's where it's tough. You see, like, do I say that he loses by submission in this fight, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Do I say he wins by decision in this fight? Possibly. Possibly. But where do you see that? Submission, KO, KO, decision once. Submission, KO, 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 decision twice. So, but this was, sheesh, 2017? That was how long ago? So if we're going to talk about him winning by decision, maybe, but if you go over to Evan Elder, the dude was on a massive winning streak, winning by KO, submission, KO, decision. He lost by decision once, but he just seems too aggressive. So if you were to say this goes to decision with this dude, with a guy with this many KOs who wins by decision, versus a guy who loses by decision or submission, decision. He's got 3, but way more fights. Decision. He's got 3 way less fights. He lost by decision once on his debut. So it's really how you slice it. In my opinion, I feel like Evan Elder might be a bit more aggressive, but instead of just assuming, let's go ahead and watch. Which one do we want to watch? Because which one intrigues me more? This unanimous decision to Michael Johnson. This is actually what I want to see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we to the scorecards, and all 3 judges see it 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Michael the Menace Johnson.
Didn't even get to watch the fight. Hold on. I might have to block that one out so we don't get shut down. I can't get no highlights. All right, so apparently I'm not allowed to watch the highlights of that fight. I don't really know why they're not on here.
We'll start with a main card lightweight bout. Darius Flowers takes on Michael Johnson. Now we'll start with a main card light.
Nope. All right, Jonathan Thompson. When did he fight him? He fought him. That's not what I want to see. I want to see his losses. Jake Matthews. Let me see that one, because I want to see what's the worst version of him that we could see, because that'll tell me a lot. He seems a bit hungry, like he wants to come back and figure this out, but like in my opinion, I don't know. Oh, he's real aggressive, huh? Real aggressive, huh? He lost to Jake Matthews. What was it by again? By submission. In round 2. Was it submission after a... submission after whooping his ass? How'd he get this takedown? He didn't. He gave it to him. He's stupid. All right, so let me look at Evan Elder. Who did he lose to? Let me take a look. Preston Parsons and Nazim Sadikov. Let me see that doctor stoppage. Nazim Sadikov.
Садыхова, ну и первая пятиминутка началась. Пробить Элдер, 10 секунд.
И работа на ближней дистанции, на встречных курсах дорабатывает этот раунд Элдер и Садыхов.
Все, закончился первый раунд.
Пришло время проявить настоящего себя.
И работа на ближней дистанции, на встречных...
Хайкик.
И опять пытается в обе руки бить. Элдер, Садыхов ему отвечает.
Блок попадает Элдер, тут же ответка от Садыхова. И пытался ноги пройти, не получилось.
Просто смахнул, как назойливую муху, Садыхов Элдера. Но тем не менее удары пропускает в голову. Назим тут немножко...
Okay, so what I'm seeing is...
И вот тем же отвечает Садыхов.
Блок, еще раз блок.
I don't see Elder even attempting any type of takedowns, no level change, no.
Эван Элдер Назиму Садыхову. Смотрим повтор. Да, без вариантов, без вопросов.
So he's gonna try to bang with Flowers. So really, it's like, who do you think between the two is gonna knock each other out? Because they're not. This is not going to decision. There's no way. There's two very aggressive fighters. I don't see any possibility of this going to decision. If it does go to decision, who do I trust more to stay with enough energy, I guess, and will to win towards the end of the fight? To me, that would say the person that is probably has a lot more to gain by succeeding in this next fight, which it's really hard because if you look at their situations right now, I mean, dude just came in from Dana White's Contender Series. He loses one more fight and he's cut Darius Flowers. Evan Elder, he just came off a win. So he made his debut and then lost again. He was in the same situation as Flowers. He was in the same exact situation as Flowers. But he got a dub, so he didn't get cut. So, let me see what the odds are. That might sway my, thought process here. Sheesh, Evan Elder's that much of a favorite? I did say he was going to win by knockout. So really, my pick for this fight, and I'm going to lock it in here. Elder. Round 2 KO. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. That's what we're going with. That's what we're going with, boys. And girls, whatever. Got my iced coffee, and we keep it rolling. What we got next? Josh Freund versus Andre Petrosky. I just don't think Darius Flowers is good enough to be in the UFC. There, I said it. There, I said it. He just doesn't seem like he wants it as much. At least one of his losses, one of Elder's losses, was by a cut, and he looked like he was still a dog in that fight. There was parts of the fight where Elder seemed like he was just giving up. And I don't want to see that, especially if I'm putting my money on it. So I'm going to go ahead and have to give that to Elder by round 2 KO. I mean, that would be the best option in my opinion, or Elder KO. No way this goes to decision. I mean, I say that, but the fuck do I know? All right. All right, so apparently this is a tough one. The odds are even. Now, we're going to do a little bit of a dive here and see why that is. We're going to take a little dive and see why that is. All right, so my guy Petrosky, 33. Josh Fremd is 30. Fremd is way goddamn taller. Way taller with 6 more inches of reach. No, 3. Okay. So this dude had a title shot back in 2021, huh? Since then, he's been kind of stagnant. And this is the title shot in the LFA. Then he won 2 more, and then he got sent to the. Then he got a contract with the UFC. Then he's been getting his ass beat. Then he wins twice, submission, then decision, and then loses by KO. And Noche UFC by Roman Kopylov, huh? That's not a bad loss. That's not a bad loss. So he got knocked out. I remember that. So this is the guy that got knocked out that night, huh? So Andre Petrosky, though. Massive win streak. That's crazy, dude. Lost in the Ultimate Fighter. Then got a contract anyway. Went on a massive tear. Just subbing everyone. So he wins by submission typically. If he doesn't win... Alright, so here's where we look at it. He wins by submission. He's probably these TKO punches. This is him stinging someone and beating him up on the ground before they stop it. Otherwise, he's getting decision or submission. But he's not knocking people out. So we'll just say that right now. And based on his losses, it looks like he's a bit chinny. He's getting knocked out. Josh Fremd. Basic. So he's gonna beat your ass until you fall over, find the neck, and choke you out. Okay, so this dude's gonna knock you out. He just got here. Went on a 2-fight losing streak. He can't go on another one of those. Career on the line. Andre Petrosky. Massive win streak. Do I say he loses by KO 3 times in a row? Eesh. That's where it's tough. Do I think he loses by KO 3 times in a row? No, I don't think so. What I think... See, he went to decision, unanimous, and split on those 2 fights. Okay. So, my thing is, give me this. Josh Fremd, right? If he wins by KO, typically that is happening in the first round. We can see that here. Okay? If he's not getting a first round knockout, he's winning the next... He's going well past like half the fight, maybe decision. It might win in submission later on in the fight when they're all tired and shit. Oh, wait, no. These are first ones. Fuck it. Give me this. Give me this. Over 1.5 rounds. Give me that. Give me that. And then if you want a winner out of me, Josh Freeman by decision. Cause yeah, he's got a lot of TKOs. But if you look at Petrosky, he's not getting knocked out in the first round. It's not happening. So then they're gonna start getting tired and shit. This dude's gonna start looking for submissions. This guy ain't letting them submit him. Like, get out of here. So he's gonna be fighting the submissions. Gonna be a lot of groundwork because he's not gonna be able to knock him out in the first round. So give me Josh Freeman by decision. And that's where we're going to lock that in. Lock it in. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. Because these odds are like really the same. Like I really don't. It's hard to get an idea unless you're like really just basing it off of your feeling and really like. I feel like I got it. I feel like I got this one. I'm just checking my volume of my music right now. All right, we got it together. We got it together. We got it together. All right, who we got next? Luna Santos versus Myra Aquapova, huh? Aquapova. Agapova. Let's take a look. Oops. LOL. Okay, so ooh, she got a TKO on her debut, huh? From Kazakhstan? Ooh, they got something to prove. She got subbed twice. She got subbed twice her last 2 fights. She looks like she sucks, to be honest. Technical submission, unanimous decision. TKO, unanimous decision. They're both the same height. They weigh the same. I think they got like the same reach. I'm going to say that Santos is a dog right now. She's literally on a massive win streak. She's Brazilian. Agapova's garbage. She's garbage. This is her last fight in the UFC. She's about to get cut. Like, what more research do I need to do? I think we're going to see... because look, she likes to win by KO. She has one. She's hungry for that. She just won by KO in her fucking debut. Like, who wouldn't want that again? You know, that she won by decision, unanimous decision. So she seems a bit persuasive, might I say. And this girl likes to get finished. Likes to get finished. Right here, like KO, submission. She was doing well, you know. She won a belt here in Hero NFC, then got to Dana White's Contender Series, lost, didn't get a contract, beat 2 people's ass, and then got a UFC contract. Won her debut by submission, that was lit. Then lost, then won, then lost, then lost. So she looks like she's doing well, but she likes to lose. She likes to get finished. And this chick wants to knock someone out. So even when she won by KO, it was round 1. She starts out real strong. So if Luna Santos does not win by KO in the first 2 rounds, she's winning by decision. There's nothing else to understand about it. And really, to be honest, I'm gonna say just because solely on the fact that this girl has never been knocked out. She's gonna be too chinny for this girl to do that. Just because Agapova has never been knocked out, I don't think she's gonna be chinny enough to go to sleep from Santos. And I don't think Santos is really gonna be putting that much pressure on her to want to give up by KO. But I do think she wins dominantly, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Santos by decision. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. All right, what we got next? Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear, huh? Montel Jackson's got this in the bag, dude. There's no way. Yeah, see, he's on a massive tear. Draw, decision, win, loss. Lost by decision. He only loses by decision. He does not get knocked out. He wins by submission or decision with random knockouts sprinkled in. So this guy's a wrestler, huh? What we got with this guy? Decision. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that these guys are both durable as hell. No one's getting knocked out in this fight. Only threat that we have is submission, where I could totally see I could totally see an underdog win here. I could see Blackshear submitting him. And if he doesn't, he's gonna win by. And if he doesn't, who wins by decision though? Because that's the biggest thing. Because I know if the fight ends, it would have to be by submission. Because I do not see Montel Jackson handing Blackshear his first knockout loss. And then if Blackshear wins, he would have to win by submission. I mean, if he wins before the decision, it would have to be by submission. Because he's got all these submissions. He's got no knockout wins. This dude's never been knocked out. So maybe you might have to submit him. So that would be the way to put him out. He would have to be by submission. what's the percentage that this fight goes to decision? I'll give it 75%. I think this goes to submission. I mean decision very easily. I'm definitely gonna say decision, just because I think he won't. This is going to decision for sure. And then it's like who wins by decision. Unanimous decision, unanimous, unanimous. No split decisions with this guy. Unanimous. And then you go here. He's winning by finish or decision, which is the only two options. But when he's winning by finish, it's mostly by submission or with a random knockout sprinkled in. So he's got to submit him if he wants it to end. And really, he's usually getting it. 1, 2. I see 2 unanimous decisions. 1, 2. He loses. He loses by unanimous decision so much. So who am I going to pick? The guy that wins by unanimous decision every single time, you usually, or the guy that's going for a submission, he loses that exchange typically to a point where he loses by decision if he loses. But if he wins that exchange, he's winning by submission. And this guy Montel Jackson has never been submitted. Give me Montel Jackson by decision. This is kind of like a toss-up right now, odds-wise, but give me Montel Jackson by submission. I think, by decision. I think with the fact that, look, he's got 9 subs. He's got way more KOs. So he's going to try to beat his ass. Dude's going to try to submit him. He's not going to get it because he's not going to give this dude his first submission loss. It's going to go to decision, and you're going to pick the guy that's been beating the other guy's ass the whole time. So I'm going to give it to Montel Jackson by decision. Another safe pick I would do for that is over 1.5 rounds. Which over 2.5 is... damn, minus 230. So if you want to play it safe, you want to get a little risque, but really though, I do give it to Montel Jackson by decision for sure. We're gonna go Jackson via decision. And I honestly would be very confident in over 2.5 rounds. I'd be very confident in that. Wow, I really wish I had a chat to give me some takes and stuff, some opinions, some questions. What is this garbage? Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and look at the next fight on here. That is gonna be Jasmine Judavicius, huh? I'm familiar with her, just a bit. We're gonna go ahead and look at a couple things here. Judavicius. Judavicius. So let me try to open this up on another. Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, full profile, back up. Judavicius. All right, here we go. Oh, she's Canadian. That's a bad sign. Oh, that's a bad sign. So, I mean, not to be, they ain't got the best rep right now. Let me out. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We are on Jazz Devicious. All right, so let's take a look here. Unanimous decisions. Unanimous decisions with the KO win. So this is Klein's debut, huh? This is Klein's debut. She's undefeated against Jazz Devicious, who is... Ten and 3. And doesn't typically look to finish fights. She is a decision artist. I think at this point, let me see. 35, she's getting up there. 24. Hungry. Multiple KOs. And a submission. Whew. KO, submission. She ain't about to go to a decision if she don't have to. But this girl don't lose by KO. She's gonna push the pace all the way to the end of the fight. Every time. Even if she wins. Even if she's winning, she's gonna be at the end of the fight. Tough, I guess. So I mean, what else would we take from this? You know, it's not really so much as who's gonna win, because I feel like, Jazadovich is the fucking favorite, huh? We're gonna go with the underdog. I'm gonna go with Klein by unanimous decision. Silva versus Drew Dober. Oh, you sent that a little bit ago. Silva versus Drew Dober, huh? Well, I don't know if you're still in here, but we'll go take a look at that fight too. Silva versus Drew Dober, because that one's interesting to me too. I'm gonna be honest with you. This fight right here, man. This dude, Gene Silva, massive savage. But I'm gonna tell you what. Dober's a dog, dude. Absolute dog. So here's what we're gonna do then. Here's what we're gonna do then. we're gonna go back from there. We're gonna go up here and take a look at him, and then we're gonna go back here and take a look at him. Oh, and by the way, I'm taking Klein by decision. I'm convinced enough. Klein via decision. That's the underdog pick of my day, right there. All right, so I remember Gene Silva. He's on a massive winning streak right now. I see that. Oh, massive. Now, here's my thing about Gene Silva. Here's my thing. Weston Wilson, 146, right? So this dude's coming up a weight class on short notice to fight Drew Dober. Coming up a weight class. And he's been fighting cans. So he has been fighting cans. So if we want to say but let's take a look at his past fights then. So he's new to the UFC. He just came off the Contender Series a couple fights ago. KO, Drew Dober. I know he knocked the fuck out of Green. He lost to Renato Moicano. That was his last fight? Yeah. But that's a good loss. Matt Frivola. He did just get fucked up by Santini. But depending on how this next fight with him, with Renato Moicano, him is gonna, but they're fighting each other. So like those yeah, so I mean it depends on how you look at it on Dober's side, but really ultimately I think Gene Silva coming up a weight class isn't going to be enough. I don't know if he's going to have enough power in him to put out Drew Dober. You know, Drew Dober is... I think Dober is going to kind of like bully him in the weight class. I think Silva's not going to really be able to handle it too much. Because, like, yeah, we do see a lot of knockouts from him. But the thing is... we do see a lot of knockouts from him. So you're gonna say like, okay, so he has a lot of power. Oh wait, I'm looking at Dober. Sheesh. So let's look at it again. KO. Submission KO. Submission KO. Decision KO. Okay, so this fight ends in knockout. Bottom line, right? So if we take it from that perspective. If we take it from that perspective, then what we're also gonna say is who's gonna do it, right? Is it gonna be fucking Gene Silva catching that big old chin of Drew Dober, or is Drew Dober just gonna weight bully this man and just destroy him? Because like, let's be honest, this is Gene Silva's first touch at a bigger weight class, and he's facing one of the brutes in the weight class that's literally just gonna fucking train him down. So I think this is Dober's bounce back. I think he's gonna win this fight, and then I think after that, maybe he wants to look at a ranked opponent, and then try to see if he can make a run. I think that Silva has a lot to lose, doesn't really have much to lose coming up a weight class, especially when he was undefeated in 145 for a long time. So give me Drew Dober by knockout. Drew Dober by knockout. And if you're gonna ask me what round, give me Dober by knockout. And if you're gonna ask me what round, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I think Silva's tough, dude. I'm going to go ahead and say third round knockout. I think he catches him in the third round. Because Silva's a dog, dude. Silva's a dog. He's not just going to go out. But so I think he has a lot of energy, enough time to dodge them Dober punches. But I just, based on everything that I've already talked about, I just think Dober's catching him, dude. Dober's catching him round 3. Dober round 3 knockout. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. Lock it in, boys. So that was a specific request on the card that I hadn't gotten to yet. So we're just gonna go back to the prelims where we was at. But so far this is what we got. Flowers and Elder round 2 KO. Frem versus Petrosky. These are my picks that I'm doing underneath. You can break them up. You can fade them. Do what you want. But, you know, I'm going to actually be placing these myself. So if you want to lose or win with me, there's enough space on this train, you know. Like, you don't got to be selective about your seats. Everybody's welcome. Frem versus Petrosky. I do have this over a round and a half. And Frem winning by decision. Santos Agapova. Santos by decision. Jackson versus Blackshear. Jackson by decision. Over 2.5 rounds. Justadavicius versus Klein. Klein by decision. That's my underdog pick. So that one's not going to be too bad. So we're going to go back to the main card here. And then up next, we have Joshua Van versus Charles Johnson. All right, so see, here's my thing with Charles Johnson, man. Every time this dude comes up on a fight, I always think to myself, this platypus foot haircut looking weirdo, there's no way he beats, what's that dude's name, that Canadian's name that he beat? What the fuck was his name? Maxim. Wait, that's not Canadian. Well, I thought he was going to lose to him too. Okay, Maxim, and then what's the other dude's name that I really thought he was gonna lose to? Jake Hadley, dude. I really thought Jake Hadley was gonna take this dude out. Like, literally, I don't know what's going on with this guy and his ability to just come through in fights that I feel like he just has no business winning. But he be getting it done. Despite what you think about his haircut, he be getting it done. So I don't know, like, it's hard to say whether or not you think he's gonna get like knocked out. Like that's kind of like that's kind of a tough assessment, because every time he loses it's by decision. He's not gonna get knocked out. But if he's gonna win, it's by decision or KO. So he's aggressive enough to win by decision, but sometimes he's not aggressive enough to win by decision. So he's kind of like all over the place, but I feel like he's kind of in a better position when the odds are stacked against him. So as far as this matchup goes, if I look at Joshua Van here, this dude is finishing people. So if you're going to go back and then you're going to look at Charles Johnson, he ain't getting finished. Decision, unanimous decisions, yeah, sure. So if we look at Joshua Van, how has he lost? By one rear naked choke back in the day. So are we going to say Charles Johnson, who tends to lose by decision, is going to come through on this one and then eke out a knockout against this guy? I don't think so. I don't think he knocks him out. Do I think he wins by decision? He's shown time and time again he can lose by decision. He can kind of fold in places, not really give it that final push at the end. So what do we want to say? We want to say he's the taller guy, much taller. Joshua Van is just bigger, maybe more tight. Personally, Joshua Van by KO. Or decision. But the reason I say that is because this guy doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't get knocked out. But my thing is you're fighting somebody who's, dude, like, look, he's 5'9". He's 5'9", 125 pounds. This is a twig out there, dude. And he's fighting somebody who's 5'5". All that compact striking ability. I mean, that's a couple body shots down there. He's out of there, you know. And I think this guy's due for a knockout loss. Let's be honest. Am I gonna say that Charles Johnson's gonna go on a 3-fight winning streak? That's more tough to say than me saying that he was gonna win the last couple fights that he was up against. Like Jake Hadley, I did not think he was gonna do. I didn't think he was gonna actually take that, but this dude has a tendency to just like flip the script in some of these fights. So that's why, like, when you pick against him, it's kind of like. But I don't think he takes out Joshua Van, though. I think Joshua Van is gonna get this done. I think he's gonna, and if he doesn't get it by knockout, he's gonna get it by unanimous decision. I don't see a possibility for Johnson to pull this out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Joshua Van has got it pretty convincingly. Especially now he's new in the UFC. He's on a tear. He's really looking for another KO finish. And I think very tall, skinny Charles Johnson is going to get stung to the body one too many times to be able to keep that going. He's going to get caught, and it's going to be the end of the night. So in this fight, give me Van. I'm going to say round 2 KO. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm gonna say. That's a tough one. That's gonna be a banger, dude. It should be a good fight. As long as everybody's doing their job, I think it should be a good time. All right. What we got next? Was that the main event of the prelims? Once again, let's go through our picks for the prelims. I think that was it. One, two, three, four, five, six. Van is the main event. All right, so our picks again. Got Flowers and Elder. Elder round 2 KO. Frem and Petrosky over a round and a half. Frem by decision. Santos versus Agapova. Santos by decision. Jackson versus Blackshear. Jackson via decision over 2.5 rounds. Jazaduvicius versus Klein. Klein via decision. That's my underdog pick. I think she's going to get that done for sure. And Van versus Johnson. Van by round 2 KO. And then the specific request that we got in. Dober versus Silva. Dober round 3 KO. I think he gets that done in the 3rd round. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got faith in Dober, dude. He's not going anywhere. Dude's a cannonball. An actual cannonball. Once again, these are my picks. These are what I'm going to be rolling with in the fight themselves. I'm not really going into so much like strike specifics or takedown specifics or anything right now. That's going to be something that I kind of touch on a little after I get in a little bit more swing of things of how I want to do my research. But until then, we're just going to be doing basically like decisions or the over under on rounds and stuff like that. So, back to the main card. We have Al Hassan versus Cody Brundage. Al Hassan, I mean, I don't know if y'all seen him in the seen him at the presser, but that dude was on one. Like he was on a tip. I don't really understand why he was so fucking mad. Like, what are you so mad about? But he's coming out with a weird fire that I'm not really used to seeing prior to a fight. I think he's a little bit too aggressive. And I think he's going to get massively clowned if you don't come out and knock out Cody Brundage based on how he was acting. Because, like, dude, he was on a tip. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, dude. Alright, so before we do this deep dive, I'm going to go ahead and take a piss real quick. I'm going to leave my picks on the screen for a second while I take a piss real quick. Those are my prelim picks. I'm going to go take a piss real quick. I'll be back in 5 seconds. All right, we are back. Now, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. This guy, absolute psycho. I think he's kind of trash. I won't lie to you. He tried to come up with a lot of stuff saying, well, not come up with, maybe he was going through a lot. Either way, you're losing a lot, dog. Right here, losing 3 times. He didn't get cut, dude. But I guess that was during COVID. They needed their fighters, whatever you want to say. He came back, got a win. Lost by decision. KO submission. Okay, so the trend I'm seeing from this guy, decision. If it goes to decision, he ain't winning. He ain't winning if it goes to decision. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I know we just watched Cody Brundage get manhandled by Bo Nickel, okay? I know we watched it happen, but let's put that in the past and just pretend it wasn't someone of that caliber that was just ragdolling him. Because there were moments in the fight where he showed promise, okay? The ability to handle bums like Allah Hassan, let's be honest, he's kind of a bum. So if we're going to say, is this his bounce back? Is Cody Brundage going to lose 3 times in a row, win twice, and then get submitted by Bo Nickel and then knocked out by Allah Hassan? Al Hassan? Do we see a Cody Brundage win? Do we see one? Do we get to witness the comeback story of Cody Brundage? I don't, the comeback legacy of 30-year-old Cody Brundage. Do we get to see it? I think so. Okay. Hear me out, okay? Cody Brundage, hear me. He's been in the UFC for a reason, okay? Okay, I say that, but there's a lot of people that are there and shouldn't be. And have no reason. Okay, Cody Brundage. Most likely is going to wrestle Al Hassan. Most likely. I would say so. Most likely going to. He's a wrestler. He wants to show he can wrestle. He just got out wrestled by by Bo Nickel. I feel like he has something to prove. If I'm gonna say that Cody Brundage is gonna win this fight, it would have to be by submission. I don't see him winning by decision. I don't see a world where he beats Al Hassan. I don't see a world where Cody Brundage beats Al Hassan by unanimous decision. I don't see that as a viable thought process. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see that. What I see though is his wrestling ability to be able to do what he needs to do to this guy. And if I look at this guy, ain't no submission stuff happening here except a submission loss. Okay? Now hear me. This dude is psycho right now. If y'all seen him at the pressers, bro, this man is a psychopath. I don't know what the hell's going on with Al Hassan right now. But the dude's off his rocker right now. So if I'm going to say, I think he overextends. I think he gets too aggressive. It goes to the ground because he can't knock out Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage chokes this dude out. Call me crazy. I think Cody Brundage chokes this dude out. And if he doesn't, he's going to lose by a decision. So it's which one of those two options do I think is going to be more viable? Cody winning by submission or him losing by decision. That's where you're kind of basing that. And then kind of based off their mindsets, kind of where they're coming from. Call me crazy. Call me absolutely psycho. Call me psycho. But that's what I'm picking. That's what we're picking. Brundage, round 2 submission. Brundage, round 2 submission. He's gonna do it. He's gonna pull through for everyone. For himself. This is the Cody Brundage story, the comeback story from Bo Nickel, the Bo Nickel downfall into the Brundage rise. The Brundage rise. the Bo Nickel downfall into the Brundage rise. I swear. This is what we're going to see here, baby. He's going to choke out Al Hassan, and then he's going to choke out, what division he in? Then he's going to choke out Adesanya. You know? He's on a tear right now. But no, deadass, I do think he does win this fight. I think he's going to win by round 2 sub. And let's sprinkle a little bit on decision. Nah. I can't because I already said that he's not going to win. Okay, so Brundage by submission. Al Hassan, if you want to go Al Hassan, if you absolutely have to go Al Hassan, give him decision. Al Hassan by decision for sure. If Cody Brundage don't get this submission, but if I'm going to weigh the 2 options, I'm definitely going to say that Cody Brundage is going to get that submission way before Al Hassan gets a decision. Dude's too aggressive. He's doing too much right now. He's got submission losses, and Cody Brundage is going to go for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Cody Brundage by submission round 2. Lock it in, boys and girls and theys, whatever you're doing. Lock it in. All right, we're moving on. Yep, go ahead and say that. Again, these are my picks. These are kind of what I'm going to be rolling with. I may or may not switch a few things up on my own, like maybe just saying Brundage wins in general. What are the odds? Yeah, Brundage is the underdog. Like, I'll go ahead and take the underdog, the plus money. Say Brundage win in general. I'll probably say that. Just a Brundage dub. Think he can get it done for sure. All right, next fight on the card is going to be Julian Erosa. Is that his name? Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa versus Christian Rodriguez, the prospect killer, huh? The prospect killer. So they're not giving him a prospect this time, huh? They're giving him a veteran. Rosa versus Rodriguez. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at these guys here. I already see a lot of decisions going on, bruh. 145. Christian Rodriguez. Do we think it's time to stop sleeping on this fucking dude? Because, like, he came into the UFC and fucking lost his first fight, and everybody's been talking about him like he's trash. And then as soon as he went up against Raul Rosas Jr., 18, as soon as he went up against him, everybody wanted to count him out like he's dog shit. And then he fucking wins by decision, unanimously. And then it's just been winning. Like, I don't know at what point we just say, alright, maybe he's not as bad as everyone thought. Like, do we say that he loses to Julian Rosa? Julian Rosa? I mean, I don't want to say he does, but, like, I see a world where he can pull this off. I mean, like, let me see. Let me check the odds before I speak too soon. Yeah, see, everybody see. I mean, I'm not really basing it on the odds. I'm more just basing it on kind of like where I'm feeling and see if I'm aligned with other people. And really, at this point, it just feels like most people are kind of agreeing with what I'm saying. Christian Rodriguez is kind of on a tear right now. I don't think. Let me lose KO. This dude has no chin. But KO. So he's got 3 KOs. None in the UFC. So he's been winning by decision or submission. Julian Rosa, he has 2 and 3 wins by submission. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's been in the UFC. He's been winning 3, losing. Winning 3, losing. Winning 1. I'm going to say, now hear me out. Christian Rodriguez is going to win this fight. Plain and simple. He's going to win the fight. Now, do I think he's going to finish this guy with no chin? Dude is 5'7". This dude is 6'1". I don't think his short ass is going to chin him and put him out. I don't think Arosa is going to get chin. His chin's way too high. Christian Rodriguez is not really a banger like that. I don't see him chinning him. So, Christian Rodriguez by decision. I'm just going to say that because I'm going to say he's a wrestler. He's going to take him down. Dude's too tall. He's going to take him down. He's going to submit. He's going to dominate on the ground. This is going to be a whole ground fight. What I'm going to say, I got 2 picks. I'm going to say this is for sure over 1.5 rounds for absolute sure. And I think Rodriguez is going to win by decision for sure. That's what I got. For sure. Because there's like, how do you don't beat like people like Cameron Simon and Raul Rosas Jr. You don't beat them by decision to lose to Julian Rosa by fucking decision. You don't that doesn't like mathematically make sense, to be honest with you. And you're not getting finished. You're not getting knocked out. You're not knocking people out either. You're not going to knock out this dude who's literally a tower over you. Like, that's not... So, no. I think he's going to win by decision. This is definitely going over a round and a half, too. So, what we got next? We got 2 fights left. Gabriel Bonfim versus Angelusa. Angelusa? I remember that fight going to no contest. He's a decision artist, huh? He's just a submission artist. Okay, hold on. Alright, so it'd be kind of stupid. It'd be kind of like normal to say he's going to win by submission, right? Gabriel Bonfim by submission. This dude be winning by decision or losing by decision. He's either going to knock you out or dominantly knock you out, or dominantly beat your ass until the fight's over. So Gabriel Bonfim knows that. He's literally just going to take him down and out wrestle him. And he just got knocked out by Nicholas Dalby. Just got knocked out. Well, not just. It's like probably a little bit less, like a half a year ago. A little bit over half a year ago. All right, so I think he's not going to get knocked out by this guy. Typically, when he gets a submission win, it's in the first couple rounds. Now, that's wild. Look at how many submissions this fucking guy has. I almost want to go look at some tape on Angelusa and see how bad at wrestling he is. Because if he's got no wrestling, I mean, dude's just going to get choked the fuck out. First takedown, he's going to choke him out in like the first fucking round. I kind of do. Let me see this loss. Manier Lazes. Yeah, this right here. Alright, let me close this so I don't get shut down here. Let me just take a look at this tape real quick. So he's an outside boxer for sure. See if I can get some wrestling out of him. So they stood and banged the whole fight, huh? And he got pieced up? So he got pieced up in that unanimous decision. Okay, so... Oh, the Jack Della Maddalena. He definitely wrestled him. There's no way he didn't. So he lost to Jack Della Maddalena too. Alright, let me look at that tape too. No, no, no. Okay. All right, I got you. All right, so from what I'm seeing, this dude can't wrestle. He's not gonna wrestle because he doesn't do it. He's not going to. It seems like he's been going against strikers and losing striking fucking fights. So what I'm thinking is, hear me out. Gabriel Bonfim knows that this guy is just a striker and he's not gonna stop him. I swear this dude's gonna choke him out in the second round. Chokes him out, second round. Lock it in. Chokes him out, second round. Lock it in. Now, I do see a world where this goes to decision. I do see a world where maybe Bonfim can't really get... No, I don't see that shit. Bonfim wins by submission. Second round. What the fuck am I talking about? Stupid. What am I talking about? Stupid. Bonfim. Via submission, baby. I don't know what round. I want to guess and say 3. Or, I'm sorry, 2. But that would be a guess, not really an educated... well, an educated guess for sure, but not really like... Because, like, look, all of his submissions are between 1 and 2-ish, but, like, they happen so early. So, like, he could really catch him and choke him out in round 1. So, like, I want to say he chokes him out in round 2, but that's if dude has any wrestling at all. And I don't think he does. So, like, round 1 submission could happen, dude. Could happen. And if you don't get him in the first, he's catching him in the second. So, it's... Gabriel Bonfim by decision. Lock it in. Look how many fucking wins this guy has by decision. He got caught once. It's okay. It happens. Bonfim by submission. Absolutely. And then I had a request earlier to kind of like skip some of these fights and do the Silva and Dober one. So I did that one already. I got Dober and Silva. Dober, round 3 KO. Silva is not big enough to handle those strikes from a big man, big wrecking ball like Dober. So I see him coming up a weight class just to get knocked back down to his weight class where he should be. And then we got the main event, I think, next. No. We got Ponzinibbio versus Salikov. All right. Dude's got a V at the end of his name. He should win. But his record does not say such a thing. Ponzinibbio has a weird forehead. He's like, looks inbred. Won't lie. Might give him the power. What do the odds say? It's a toss-up, huh? Which one did we just do? Bonfim versus Lusa. I had Bonfim. Yeah, see? We on the same page, buddy. See, I don't be looking at the odds all the time. I don't use them all the time, but I kind of just look them to get a basis to see where everybody's head's at. Bonzanibio, I already kind of felt, but like, dude, this is a toss-up. So we're going to look at a couple things then. Kind of the same height. American top team, Bonzanibio. You lost to Randy Brown? Yeesh, that's tough. All Bonzanibio's last fight was to Kevin Holland. He got knocked out. I remember that. But these aren't bad losses, though. Kevin Holland, Michael Pereira, Jeff Neal, Luigi Lilang. They lost to the same guy. So really it's really like, do you think he's going to be able to bounce back from Kevin Holland? And I think so. I don't think he's going to be scarred from the Kevin Holland fight. Dude's lost before. It's fine. I don't think he's going to go on another 2-loss streak. I think Muslim Salikov is on his way out the door. I think this is supposed to be a layup for Bonzanibio. So, honestly, what I want to say... How are you 40? Sheesh, dude. I would not want to be taking no damage like this at 40 years old. I'm going to say Ponzinibbio by knockout. Dude's been knocked out twice. Submitted twice. He's coming off of 2 knockout losses. Ponzinibbio, do I want to say he wins by knockout? No. I'm going to say Ponzinibbio wins by decision. Unanimous decision. I think he beats the fuck out of Salikov for 3 rounds. Ponzinibbio by decision. And I honestly feel very confident in this going over 2.5 rounds. I don't know if there's what the line is. Yeah, over 2.5 rounds is plus 100. So I guess if you were to do him by decision, that'd be a nice little juicy bet. Not bad. Salikov's just old. He's out of there. I don't think he's got too many left in him getting beat like this. And Ponzinibbio's 37. Yeah, he's a little older, but I think he still has enough in him to get this done. I don't think Salikov is really going to be able to handle it. He's lost to Randy Brown. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Round 1 knockout by Randy Brown? Come on, dude. Get that shit together. I think he's going to bounce back after this Kevin Holland fight and get it together. I believe in you, mate. I do. You'll get my couple dollars. Alright, and then the main event. Last one. Then I gotta go to the stove. Let's go ahead and get this full breakdown finished. And then I'm gonna go through the card, go through all my picks one more time, and then we are gonna be all set here. And then I will be on later on when the card is on to have a live watch party. But I'll learn my lesson. I won't show the stream like a dummy. We live and we learn, you know? All right. I'm just going to straight up say Namajunas wins this fight. Even though old girl cut her hair off, I think she's just too damn emotional right now. I don't really know what's going on with that. She literally, I've seen like 3 or 4 videos of her crying about something else these past couple of days. Like, what are we doing? Are you locked into the fight or what? Namajunas she's just trying to get back to her plans. You know what I'm saying? She a farmer now. She's trying to get back to that, man. She ain't trying to be here crying about nothing. She's trying to beat your ass and get back to her crops. You feel me? So I'm gonna already say right now, Namajunas is like a couple fights away from a title fight. I don't know, people don't really want to hear it. Not really this soon. But I think she wins this fight. She gets another good fight, and that kind of puts her in somebody cancels and they're calling Namajunas, you know. So I think that's possible. Cortez, this is like a lifting fight for her. She wins this fight, that puts her in great position. Kind of like the same position as Namajunas, but the difference right now is if Cortez loses, it's okay. She can go the ladder normally how she would, but this is kind of like a jump for her. So who has more to lose? Namajunas, definitely. Who has more experience? Namajunas, definitely. Who wouldn't be crying about their hair getting cut off? Namajunas. So, I mean, however you want to play it, I feel like there's way too many advantages going over to Namajunas right now. If we're just talking about strictly exposure to the sport, knowledge, everything in together, she's not old enough for you to counter out. That's just my biggest thing. Because, like, I feel like the biggest misconception with her right now is that she's been around for a long time. And when you think of her, you think, wow, she's probably like 40 by now. This bitch is 32. She's 32. She's just as... It's kind of like when you think of Max Holloway. You're like, wow, Max Holloway, like if you don't really know exactly how old he is and you find out he's only 32, you're like, wow, dude still got some time. That's what I'm saying with her. It's like she's got so much time in the game. She's still young. She's still hungry. She can still realistically get a title shot if she beats this girl and then beats someone else after her. So Namajunas by decision, bro. Namajunas by decision. I mean, there's really nothing else to really break down. I mean, Cortez is good, man. She's really good. I just don't think it's really about where your mental state is right now in your career. And I think Namajunas this is like a make or break point in her career, and she's got enough tools to handle it. So I think she gets this dub. I think she gets it handled, and that's what I'm gonna lock it in at. That's what I'm gonna lock it in at. I think she gets it done. I think it's gonna be a good night for her. And there we go. There's all my picks. There are all my picks. We got Flowers versus Elder. Elder, round 2 KO. Frem versus Petrosky over a round and a half. And Fremd via decision, my underdog pick. Santos versus Agapova, Santos via decision. Jackson versus Blackshear, Jackson via decision. Over 2.5 rounds for sure. Jazz Dudovicius versus Klein via decision. Van versus Johnson, Van round 2 KO. And then moving on to the main card, Brundage versus Al Hassan. Brundage, round 2 sub. Orosa versus Rodriguez, over a round and a half. Rodriguez via decision. Bonfim versus Lusa. Bonfim via submission. And pick your round on that, because I think he gets him in the first. To be honest, I think he gets him in the first. But I know for a fact it's going to be by submission, dude. Lusa cannot wrestle. He's going to be out of there. Dober versus Silver. Dober catches that little baby-ass chin, round 3. Ponzinibbio versus Selikov. Ponzinibbio by decision. beats the shit out of Selikov for 3 rounds. Cortez versus Namajunas. My girl Namajunas by decision. I apologize. So Namajunas by decision in the main event, and I think it's gonna be a lackluster card. I'm gonna be honest with you. But honestly, if we start with this right here, if that hits, first fight, I think it's sending off into a good part of the card. KO first fight, then a bunch of Dookie submissions. Decisions. But I feel very confident about this, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my bets in. So glad you guys were here with me to learn about some of these fighters and get some of this, some of these bets placed. So good luck, and I will see y'all later for the watch party. Later.